Hey guys, so one of the big questions I get about in-home lifestyle newborn sessions is, what if my house is too dark? Or what if it rains that day? So here's the deal. If you've looked through my portfolio on my website, you'll notice that the images are always very bright and airy, and it looks like everybody has the most amazing light everywhere. And I'm gonna tell you that if you've looked through my portfolio, thinking about hiring me, you have seen a session where I've used an off-camera flash and you didn't know it. And that is because a couple years ago, I did like a self project kind of thing where I went into a bunch of people's homes, actual homes, into their nurseries with my off-camera flashes, and I practiced and I figured out how to make it so that my flashes look like natural light and it just augments the scene, especially for rainy days, for dark houses, because there have been times over the years where I've walked into someone's house and they live in the woods and it was overcast and it was just so dark. I mean, I had babies like practically up against the window and there still was like not enough light, and I decided I don't want to have to worry about that anymore. So I figured out how to use my flash. And now when I go into sessions, it doesn't matter. If the parents call me, they're like, oh, well, it's going to be overcast or rainy. Like, are we still okay? Or my house is super dark. As long as I have a window, then we can make this work. And I've actually done a session for another photographer that they lived in a basement. They had a basement apartment, and the windows were those type that are at the top of the wall, and they're like this big, but like that big. And she was a photographer and she loved my light and bright and airy style. And it was a little stressful thinking she's in a basement and has tiny windows. And I was like, all right, well, we can make this work. Like, I know how to use my off-camera flash, like we'll be fine. And then that day up, it was literally raining while I was at their session. So it was in a basement and it was super dark and we had these tiny windows. And I actually ended up using 2 off-camera flashes that day to give us enough light. And it looks gorgeous. You would never know that it was so dark and stuff like that in there. So don't worry if your house is dark. I'm gonna look for, obviously we wanna shoot in the nursery as much as possible. And in fact, on some respects, I would rather have a nursery that's darker that I can put an off-camera flash into a window than a nursery where the sun is streaming straight in and it's, really, really harsh, because then you end up with like a lot of shadows and stuff like that. So don't worry about your house being dark. Like I said, we'll typically do the nursery, either the master bedroom or maybe a guest room. I am going to look for a room that has the best light, but I take my flashes all the time and just add in just enough light so that it still looks natural, but that it brightens everything up. And then, like I said, like living room and stuff like that. And if it comes down to it, if your house is super dark, we may pick one spot. We may just be like, you know what, we're just going to do everything in one spot, because it's just not working in the other spots for whatever reason. But they still are going to look like the images you see on my website. And when it comes to, the room and decor and stuff like that, if you have like a bedroom and it's a dark bedroom, then I might tell you, throw a white blanket over top of your bed just to brighten things up, just to help the light bounce around. There's little tricks and stuff like that. Always with rooms, less is more kind of thing. So, if maybe we're down in your living room, we might clear some clutter kind of thing and put you closer to a window. But whatever we do, don't worry, we're gonna get those nice bright and light images that you're looking for. So don't worry if your house is too dark. I've got you covered. All right, thanks. See you in the next video.